another edition of the JMU Sports News Podcast. I'm Bennett, Conlin, joined by Jack Fitzpatrick. And this is a very special edition again. Because we're talking about a Sunbelt Championship. We're talking about a hangout at Three Notched before the Sunbelt Championship. This should be a very fun weekend.
I'm very much looking forward to a nice little Friday, quick Saturday spent in good old Harrisonburg, Virginia. We plan on getting to Three Notched in Harrisonburg at about 3 p.m. We're saying it's like a live podcast, but it won't be recorded. So the only people who are aware of the happenings at this Hangout live podcast will be the 4 people in attendance at Three Notched. But come on out, enjoy some good beer, kind of pregame your tailgate responsibly, of course. We'll talk ball, we'll hang out. We'll give you some insights into the coaching search that we've been able to.
You've been grinding on the trail.
I've been talking to a lot of people. I'm trying to rebuild our credibility. That's all I'm saying. Because apparently Billy Napier would not be a splash hire, according to some people out there.
That one I didn't fully understand, right? He just coached at Florida, and he's 40-12 at Louisiana. If it's a known name, that for JMU it feels like a splash hire. But whatever, man. It's not LSU.
Yeah, you're right. It's not LSU. And, he was the most highly desired coach on the market 4 years ago when he took the Florida job coming from the G5, but that's besides the point. We'll talk some coaching as well in this because we do have some updates that we need to share, but also want to get thoughts off of our chest around Billy Napier because I don't know how I feel about Billy Napier. It would be a splash, but I don't know if it's like a belly flop splash or like a really good executed cannonball splash, so that's something we dive into. But yeah, come on out, Three Notched, out there, Valley Collab House from 3 until about 4:30. We'll then wrap things up, and then I think Bennett and I got to go over to some tailgates because, we are highly popular people, and people desire our presence.
That's right, man. It's game day's not in town, according to a couple of my sources, but it should still be a good tailgate scene, so I'm looking forward to it.
I hate you. All right, we're going to take a quick ad break here at the top. We'll be back, dive into... Do you want to start with coaching search or do you want to start with actual Troy?
We can do 2 minutes on coaching search.
Okay, so we'll take a quick break. We'll do 2 minutes or so on coaching search. We'll be back. For more than 20 years, SignPro has been proudly serving the Valley, helping local businesses stand out and get noticed. Whether it's vehicle wraps that turn heads on the road, dimensional signs that elevate your storefront, or long-lasting banners with yard signs, we bring quality and experience to every project. With a reputation built on craftsmanship and trust, we're here to make your message impossible to miss. Visit mysignpros.net and let's showcase your business with confidence. That's mysignpros.net. Every Monday, go to the house with former JMU quarterback Vad Lee and Hall of Famer Delvin Joyce. It's the weekly JMU football podcast with insider insight you won't find anywhere else from 2 guys who've worn the jersey. Listen now. Subscribe to the JMU Sports News Podcast Network to never miss an episode of To the House every Monday. Love JMU Sports News? Help us keep bringing you the best coverage we possibly can. Support the show and fuel our work at buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. Every cup keeps us rolling all season long. Buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. Big win? Huge play? Don't just remember it, wear the moment. Breaking Team makes shirts that capture the game's biggest highlights right as they happen. Gear up today using the link in the description. College football's back, and it's time to upgrade your game day gear. Right now, claim 15% off at Home Field. The best retro and vintage apparel in the game. Rep JMU in style. Don't wait. Check the link in description to get your 15% off. Welcome back into the JMU Sports News Podcast. All right, so just some quick things that we've heard on the coaching search.
Yeah, you tell us because you're deep in the weeds.
At the risk of losing credibility here, I love them. There have been so many, and rightfully so. We messed up the game day post, but it is funny when people are like, are you really taking your news from the people who messed up the game day account? and like in the process or quote tweeting people who are talking about lawsuits that never happened, but that's besides the point. I've been told not to take victory laps, so I won't take as much of victory laps. I'm working on humbleness going into 2026. It's something I'm actively working on.
That's great. That's great to hear.
But according to a lot of people that we have talked to, JMU is looking to make a splash hire in this cycle. Now, what does splash hire mean, Bennett? Because I think it could mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. According to this plane that JMU fans have been tracking, I'm not fully convinced that it is connected to the JMU coaching search, but I'm not convinced, if that makes sense. It went down to Gainesville, this plane that they're tracking, and it also then went to Lehigh, Pennsylvania. If there's anything that we know, it's that Billy Napier's still in Gainesville, Florida. He's still living in his house that we all think. Still currently, I don't think he has another house. Maybe he does, but I don't know. And then Lehigh, a name that we put out in our initial replacement search is Cahill from Lehigh, who has had tremendous success, albeit short amount of success. But I think both would be splash hires for different reasons.
Yeah, I mean, Cahill's like a highly sought after FCS coach.
Chesney.
Yeah, he's very similar to Chesney, and he On3 did a profile. They're like, who's the next Signetti? And they did a story in November on Cahill. Like, he's very much in that Signetti Chesney mold, maybe more so the Chesney mold because he wasn't like at Alabama. People forget that like Signetti was at Pitt and NC State and Alabama and then took this crazy route. Like, he was not just like at Holy Cross. So a little different than Signetti, but he's a good coach. And then Napier, I think, is a good coach. The Florida tenure didn't go well, and Florida fans have a lot of beef that he wouldn't give up play calling, and their offense kind of sucked. So yeah, that's a legitimate concern. But he is a big name who's won in the Sun Belt, albeit a different version of the Sun Belt. It was before Marshall and JMU were in the league, but he would be at JMU, right? He doesn't have to beat JMU.
Yeah, but also a different version of the G5 than it was even when he was there just a handful of years ago. But NIL has taken on a lot more of a presence in the G5. Transfer portal wreaks havoc every single year to the roster. So Napier, Louisiana fans have been saying it. They've been in our comments kind of talking about it, saying Napier's success was that he was a really good recruiter and he just out-recruited the rest of the Sun Belt. He would have to do that in the transfer portal. I don't know how different it really is, but
his Florida teams were stacked.
Yeah, he had a lot of talent.
He is good at recruiting.
But he just couldn't really coach at Florida, despite having Richardson, who was a top 5 NFL draft pick, and DJ Lagway, who everyone was calling like a Heisman hopeful coming into the season, who fell flat on his face.
They weren't completely terrible. They just weren't like what Florida thought they should be. They were like a 6 to 8 win team.
It worries me that the reports are not like we're the ones creating the reports. It worries me that I'm hearing. It worries me that I'm hearing they are really focused on making a splash. From what I've also heard is that if they can't land the splash, which it seems like will be 1 to 2 candidates that they're looking for, then they'll look at coaches who have FBS experience. Then they'll look at coaches who have FCS coaching experience. So I think all of the coaches they are looking for have head coaching experience. I believe Hitchler is not in the running for much longer, if at all. I think the focus is taking a page out of the Bourne playbook and finding a guy who has the head coaching experience. But I think it is straying a little bit from the Bourne game plan in that it doesn't necessarily need extended success at multiple levels, where Napier doesn't fully fit that. Lehigh's coach does. But I think there are plenty of other options down the line. I don't think Drew Cronick is a full, realistic guy. Yeah. I don't think he's a top candidate. I think Coastal, however, will end up with Cronick, and he is going to be a thorn in JMU's side if he's down there at Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, that is a scary one. Like if Cahill or Cronick end up in the Sun Belt but not at JMU, would be a little bit worrisome.
I don't think Cahill would end up in the Sun Belt, not at JMU, but I think Cronick could.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm trying to think of who else would be. I think Heatherman, though, I would count to me as a splash. Like Heatherman or Bryant Haynes. Don't have any head coaching experience, but if you get the defensive coordinator from number 2 Indiana or number 12 Miami, I would count that. USF got Brian Hartline, and I would consider that a splash.
Yeah.
So I would put those in the splash bucket if he could convince one of them, and I'd also be like thrilled beyond belief if they landed Heatherman or Haynes, because I know that they could come in, coach the defense, focus on that, and that one half of the ball would probably be very good.
I would be more excited about Haynes because I think
I'd be more of a Heatherman guy.
See, I think Signetti's a better coach than Cristobal, and I think
But he's
Haynes
been with both.
That's a
That's
valid
what gets
point.
me so hype is like this guy's been, and it was with Schiano for a little bit, right? Like he could take little bits and pieces from all these good coaches, put his defense into place. But yeah, if you get Haynes or Heatherman, that's a splash. I think Napier's a splash, regardless of what people are saying. Like
I think Napier would be the biggest splash. I think Napier would draw headlines from across the country.
That's what I think a splash is. If you
100%.
if you talk to a casual football fan, you're like, JMU hired Kevin Cahill. They'd go, who? And you say JMU hired Billy Napier. They'd be like, oh, the Florida coach. Right? That's what a splash is.
And then you go, no, the JMU coach. Get it right, son.
A splash doesn't mean you like the hire. That's not what splash means.
Splash means that a lot of people get wet from it.
Sure. It's just like, you know who it is basically what, like Dan Mullen failed at Florida and UNLV's 10-2 in playing in the conference championship game. So like that, I thought the Mullen hire was like kind of dumb. Anthony Calandria, they brought in the portal from UVA. He's like the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year. Like if you bring in Napier, I think it would probably be fine. I think there's a lot of guys they could bring in that would be fine. It would scare JMU fans because it's like, Jeff Bourne would have done this. But I don't think you have to exactly follow the Jeff Bourne model. Now, if he doesn't follow the Jeff Bourne model and he's wrong, Matt Rowan's going to get roasted into oblivion. But it's like if he wants to go out on the limb and be like, hey, I'm bringing in Heatherman or I'm bringing in Haynes or I'm bringing in Napier. All right.
If it works, it works. I think with not Heatherman, with Napier, there's an outside shot that he sticks around for like 5 years because I think it takes a little bit of time to get the stench of Florida off of you. So I think there would be a high likelihood that you would keep Napier for multiple years. Other like where Haynes or Heatherman might be a 2-year rental. Cahill might be a 1 to 2 year rental. But I think Napier, I think Cronic, but we just mentioned earlier, I do not think Cronic is getting the interest from JMU.
Which I think is kind of a mistake if that's...
I agree. But I think Cronic sticks around. I would love, we've been Delane Fitzgerald stands here. I think he sticks around for a really long time. I mean, man, what he has done at Southern Utah is just mind-boggling. And I know he doesn't have the postseason success, but like, goodness gracious. Talk about something I always look for in a coach is doing more with less. And he is doing more with less out there at Southern Utah. On a side note, I think we should one day, because we are such big Delane Fitzgerald fans, go out to a Southern Utah game.
I'm in.
And just like have a sign, just like, we're here for Delane.
I'm in, man. That'd be sick to get out there. I also think like he's an interesting one where if like an FCS opening in the East comes up, maybe he goes there with more resources, wins at a higher level, and then becomes like more appealing to JMU. I do think one day he'll be the JMU coach.
Hear me out. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Cahill, hired by JMU.
He goes to
Lehigh, hires Delane Fitzgerald.
I don't know if he's a fit at Lehigh, personally, with his vibe, to be honest, but it would be interesting to see him there. I want him more in just like a rugged school. You know, Lehigh's like very into like academic. I'm not saying he's not into academics. He's just like Cahill seems like maybe more buttoned up, where Delane's like smash mouth football. I want him at a school that like embraces that a little more than Lehigh. Lehigh feels a little bit
like a Villanova.
No, no, like Mercer
Maine
or something. I want Maine would be okay, but it's hard to win.
New Hampshire.
The Athletic floated the New Hampshire head coach, Ricky Santos.
Yeah.
They go like 8-4 every year. How is he on your list of 20 names? He has no chance.
It's like someone mentioning Joe Harris-Simiak.
Yeah, the Athletic was funny too, because it was like, here's what we're hearing about JMU, and they just listed like 45 names. It was like sick. I thought they were gonna have like, here's what we're hearing. Instead, it was like, here's everything we've ever heard.
I mean, if we put out all the names we are hearing, our list would also be 45 names long. But look, some names don't need to be included.
Yeah.
Maybe next go around, it's good to kind of keep our running list on the back end to be like, all right, maybe Billy Kosh is someone we keep an eye on over there at Stony Brook. But right now, Billy's not it.
No.
Quentin Hunter at Emory
Billy
and
might
Henry.
be it, just a different Billy. But it is interesting because I do think they're trying, like, they're in a much better position of strength. What a list of
names. Sorry, this thought just came in. From Kurt to Bob to Billy.
Yeah. Wow, that'd be something, man, if they do it. But it's like they're in a position of strength. Where in the past they hired Signetti, they were, Signetti, they're still at the FCS days. And then he kind of transitioned them, but they hadn't really, I guess they had a pretty good 2023, but they were still kind of building national relevance. And now, they're in a playoff conversation. So, you're able to take a bigger swing. And I think Roan maybe seems to want to take advantage of that.
I had a caller call into my radio show, South Carolina Duke. I think he's a listener to this podcast, too. So this isn't shout out him. And I'm not trying to drag the phone call or anything. Fits the bill every weekday morning on ESPN Richmond, 8 to 10 a.m. But did raise, an interesting question of, I think you kind of answered it with JMU's now in a position of power. But, JMU historically has been the lowest paid or one of the lowest paid head coaching openings. I think they'll probably be able to offer 1 to maybe 1.5 million. But for Billy Napier, he was making $2 million at Louisiana at the tail end. He was making a lot more than that at Florida. Would he really want to come back and coach?
You see his buyout structure?
No, what is it?
It's sick. So he got $10 million in mid to late November, just up front. And they do not have a
clause in it where the money gets taken out for whatever money he earns?
Yes, he does not also have to get another job. But if he wants to be a head coach and wants to get back into the ranks, he's just getting $2.5 million for the next 4 or 5 years. Every year. Without regardless of where he goes. From what I read, it was just $2.5 million, $2.5 million, $2.5 million. So I don't think he cares that much about the salary because he's getting.
So he'll do it for free.
Yeah. Well, I think if he really wants to get back to the P4, he really wants to rebuild his credibility as a head coach. I think he'll take it in an advantageous job, try to win, and not be so concerned about the money because he just got $10 million and then is going to get another 2.5.
I like that because also the way that's set up, he's getting $2.5 million for the next 4 years. You said.
I think so. Let me double check how long. But his buyout over the next structured very nicely for him.
Over the next 4 to 5 years, he's getting paid $2.5 million. It probably will take 4 to 5 years for him to get the stench of Florida off of him. And by the time his buyout is done, JMU will have paid $1 million a year, maybe $800,000 to Billy Napier. Let him rehab his image, and then he goes right in line with when his buyout ends.
Yeah. So according to CBS Sports, it is no offset clause. On November 19th.
Who got that? Is Jimmy Sexton his agent? Because that is insane.
He got $10.6 million on November 19th. And then, so through July of 2029, he will receive $2.65 million every year. So 4 years, 26, 27, 28, 29, just a little bit over $2.5 million every year. So he's well compensated for the next 5 years, regardless of where he coaches. So I don't think that's going to be an issue of oh, I'm not going to take this job. It doesn't pay enough. Florida made him set for life.
And people who are like, why did Chesney take the UCLA job? Because even if he fails at UCLA, he's set for life.
Yes. So it's a good contract for Napier, I would say.
And the funny thing about all of this, and it's the underlying storyline with it, is that technically Chesney has not officially been announced as a UCLA head coach.
That's the very funny part, yeah.
So none of it is being talked about openly, and it's all behind the scenes stuff because technically Chesney is not the next UCLA head coach. And there's Reddit rumors, which are always fun to follow, that Penn State, because they struck out on Sataki, is going to make one last huge push at Chesney to try and sway him.
My guess is he already signed.
I would guess that
said
too,
it right,
which is why it's Reddit rumors.
Guess. But yeah, that would be very, very funny. But it's also interesting because they'll probably announce it after the Sun Belt Championship, and
immediately after.
Yeah, Rome might Rome might have his guy within a day or two after that.
Yeah, it could be a wild 24 hours where Chesney could be announced literally at final whistle, and then JMU could have their next coach Saturday morning.
It's possible
because the way some of these G5 teams are moving right now is really quick.
Because it wasn't a surprise that Chesney left. So Roan has had a list.
Yes. So, speaking of that, Troy coming to town. Game is at 7 p.m. Come on out to our 3-notch pregame hang from 3 until 4:30. Maybe if you're nice to us, we'll buy you a beer. If you're mean to us, we might still buy you a beer. We'll see how things play out. But come on out to 3-notch from 3 until 4:30. Get a little warm, pregame your tailgate, have some fun. I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow, Friday, day of game. So, JMU is a hefty betting favorite in this one by like 3+ touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Just, whew. And for good reason. JMU is the much better team. They've got the better offense. They've got the better defense, albeit Troy's defense, surprisingly, really good.
Yeah, I mean, they play decent defense. I don't like this one to me isn't even about Troy. It's just about.
I hate you.
No, I mean it though. It's like
it's about going out and dominating the point of contact. It's winning
about...
your one-on-ones. It's
no, not
it's
that
controlling the controllables. It's blocking out the outside noise and focusing on the guys inside of this locker room. Right here, right now. This is for the glory.
It's about us. No, I think it's just about winning the Sun Belt
standard
Championship.
is the standard, Bennett. Sorry.
It's just about winning the chip, right? You just win the Sun Belt Championship. That is what I think is cool. Is going to be watching them win a Sun Belt Championship because I have a lot of respect for the Sun Belt West, but on a much more real sense, I don't have any respect for this division because it's garbage. Troy's conference, like they're 6-2 in conference, and their scoring margin is plus 25 points. JMU's 8-0 and they're plus 219. Like Troy sucks,
and that's with a game they only won by 7.
Yeah, I guess it's the worst team in the conference, but like. Which Troy gave up 500 yards to Georgia State, by the way.
Which that makes sense because Georgia State only scored 19 points.
I don't know what was happening in that game that they couldn't score points, but Troy plays solid defense. They're better than I thought they were going to be this year, honestly. Like they gave Clemson a game, good for them. Memphis kind of beat up on them. ODU beat up on them. So like every time they play, a real team, they don't do so hot. Outside of maybe Texas State and Southern Miss, like those road wins are not bad, so I'll give them some credit there. They're not a bad team by any means. They're just not a good team. You know what I mean? They're not like a fringe playoff team. Like people were talking, yes. Southern Miss fans were talking a few weeks ago when they were like only had one loss or two. Well, probably 2 losses already, and they were like, if we win the Sun Belt, could we sneak into the playoff? And it was like, oh, like you don't watch football. Like you have no idea what you're talking about. Your team sucks. And then of course they just poop all over themselves. But Troy's not very good. JMU should roll. I don't care about the distractions. I don't care about anything. Like JMU should win this game pretty easily because I don't think Troy's gonna be able to score more than like 14.
I think distractions are the only way Troy wins this game.
Even then, I don't think they can win. I don't think there's any way they can win this game.
Well, I will say I think there are plenty of ways for them to win this game. If Alonzo Barnett comes out and just like throws a bunch of interceptions, but I will say. I think there is a really, really strong leadership core within that locker room. I think Trent Hendrick is really it seems like just based off of what we see on the field, everything like that, like the core leaders of this team, I think are really coming together. And I know I was just making fun of all of the stupid cliches, but I think they are actually being able to rally around that. Yeah. So the way that Mike Houston's departure kind of hovered over the team against Colgate in a game that JMU should have won, I don't think this hovering over the program will impact the team in the same way that Houston's departure did.
I think that's fair. I think it is interesting. Goose Crowder has been the guy here recently, and he's done a really nice job the last 2 games.
All
7
right.
times. What?
Can we talk about something really quick?
Yeah.
The Sun Belt West, you guys got to get your quarterback name situation in order. We've got a lunch out there and a goose.
Those are good. That's the only redeeming quality about the West is these quarterback names.
It is insane to me. It's like who was the quarterback? Was it last season for Southern Miss? General Booty. That was ULM.
He was at ULM, yeah.
Then he got benched.
Yeah, and JMU lost to the Armada guy or whatever.
Yeah, talk about nominative determinism, right? General Booty, and you turn out to be Booty.
Yeah, man, that's brutal. But they can't run the ball. But Goose Crowder, I do think Goose Crowder is like a decent quarterback. So I guess that's your path, right? I was saying there's no path. Your path is Goose Crowder has a really good game and JMU commits a bunch of turnovers. I don't think it's likely. I think the issue with Goose is Goose can't like really move a ton. Like he's probably going to take some sacks in this one. He's not crazy dynamic running threat. Eaglin and Culp and Jacob Thomas, these defensive backs, Barksdale. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be really hard for Troy to do much of anything, especially if they're one-dimensional. And they seem to be very one-dimensional in terms of only being able to pass.
And, it's not like JMU's strength on defense is the secondary.
Uh-oh.
Like, JMU ranks 4th in the country in EPA allowed per pass.
Right, that seems like a bad situation for Troy.
Like, good luck. I will say Goose Crowder, negative .10 EPA per dropback. Can I ask you a dumb question, and you can make fun of me for not knowing this?
Yes.
Did Kilcrease get hurt?
I think Goose got hurt. Or I think they like Goose more.
Because Kilcrease has all of the better advanced stats.
Okay, one of them got hurt. But Kilcrease sucks at throwing, is my understanding.
He
can run.
Kilcrease has a .39 EPA per dropback. Goose Crowder has a negative .1.
That's interesting. Well,
Kilcrease has a 45% success rate per dropback, and Goose Crowder has a 41%.
Let's see which one they benched. They were going to play 2 quarterbacks against ODU. Okay, Crowder was hurt. I think they like Crowder more, and he's come back to health and then slowly take it over. I think Kilcrease is pretty limited as a passer, even though he had a couple nice games. Like, if you look at his stats, they didn't throw that much. I think they were running it a lot, and they would, like, maybe surprise teams almost with a pass. And he had a couple games where it was pretty good, did some good stuff. I think Goose is getting dinged a bit because he struggled against Clemson in one of his, only outings. So I think he is a better player.
Thank you.
Kilcrease is maybe a slightly better athlete, but neither of them are, like, elite quarterbacks. They got a bit of a quarterback situation that I think has been frustrating for their fans.
Okay, because full disclosure, I don't watch a lot of Troy football. I scoreboard watch them. So seeing the advanced
something
stats.
had happened. Yeah, so they went with Kilcrease for like the entire middle of the season. And he did win a lot of games, and then he started to fade a little bit. Like, he didn't play very well against Louisiana. ULM, he was fine, I guess. And then he was really bad against Arkansas State, and they were like, all right, let's change it up.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And plus his name's Goose.
Yeah, sorry, Tucker, but like, they have a goose on the team.
Caw-caw! That's more of a hawk.
I think it's more of a honk sound. Yeah, there you go.
Yo, what if every time Goose Crowder scored a touchdown in their home stadium at Troy, it's just like, honk.
That would be actually sick. I like the idea that he's on the sideline doing the caw, though. Caw! And they're like, Goose, that's just not.
Goose, you're a goose. You're not hawk. Dummy.
But I don't know. I think this game should be a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, Troy's offense just leaves so much to be desired. They are so bad at running the football. They do have a pretty good starting field position, so their special teams aren't horrible.
I think their punter is sick.
Yeah, so like their offense on average starts on their own 29, which is 35th best in the country, which means they've got a solid return team. Opponents start on average on their own 27, which is pretty solid, not great, but they do have a good punter. But JMU's return game has been phenomenal this year. Their starting field positions on their own 32, 4th best in the country. I mean, Troy's defense is good. They rank 32nd in the nation in EPA allowed per pass, 54th in the nation in EPA allowed per run. Their offense is so bad, they may not make it past the 50 until the 4th quarter, and all JMU's offense has to do is put up 17 points, and they win this game.
Evan Crenshaw, punter, real good player, started his career at Coastal Carolina. He's had 56 punts this year, 20 of them 50-plus, 25 inside the 20. Only 3 touchbacks, averaging 46.7 yards per punt.
3 touchbacks?
Just 3.
That's insane.
Yeah, so he's a dog. He might be their best player. Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida guy.
But is that how you pronounce that? Not Ponte Verde?
Ponte Vedra.
This is awkward.
He's a dog. He's a dog. So their special teams are good. There is a path for them, and it's like good special teams. Defense shows up, and they find something with Goose in the passing game. So there is a path. I want to take back what I said earlier. I just think it's a highly unlikely path.
It is a highly unlikely path. But there is a path.
Yeah.
Couple of explosive plays, get a couple chunks. But you've got to play like a near perfect football game.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. And like if Alonzo takes care of the ball and Jamie doesn't fumble a lot, I think they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. All right, anything else?
No, I'm just looking forward to actually being there. Sunbelt Championship at home. This one means a lot regardless of what happens with Duke. And I guess we need to talk about Duke real quick.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk college football playoff here.
They're ranked.
It is really cool. It is awesome, but can I be a Debbie Downer really quick?
Whoa. Yes. Yeah. Boom. We're ranked, baby. Yeah, go ahead.
Being ranked, it's like, yes! And then you look up and you're like, but both of the teams that we're playing against are in front of us in the top 25, so really it doesn't matter. Yes!
Yeah, the American champ's going to get in. Unless, and I don't like saying it, but I have to say it. If the winning team in the American, if like the quarterback suffers a catastrophic injury, I do think they could change their mind.
Do you think there's any chance if North Texas wins a really close game and JMU wins by 45, is there any way that the committee will flip-flop the two?
I don't think so, but I think they would have to think about it a little more because the strength of schedule isn't that different. I just think they would say that North Texas beat a top 20 Tulane, which is like, I don't know how Tulane keeps going so high, but whatever. Tulane, of the three teams, is the worst objectively. I think North Texas will beat them at Tulane. But
yeah.
But I assume the American champ's going to get in, even if North Texas wins. I will be rooting for North Texas because I think they're sick. And I'd prefer to watch that offense in a playoff game than Tulane.
It's crazy that all three G5 teams that are ranked in the current College Football Playoff Committee ranking do not have their coach technically. Or I guess technically JMU does.
Yeah, I guess technically they all do. Although Summerall likes to run around and cosplay. So he's out there, he's Florida's coach one day, and he's doing the chomp, and the next day he's decked head to toe in Tulane gear. This is rap poison guy.
I love your hatred for John Summerall, because like it seemingly just popped up one podcast.
He's a very good coach. I just get annoyed with when he like went on all these radio shows and podcasts and was hemming it on.
Yeah, screw radio shows.
Well, no, it's what he says on them, where he's like, oh my God, rat poison, we don't want distractions. It's like, that's the biggest distraction I could ever think of.
Sir, have you held up a mirror? You are the distraction.
He's a good coach, though, I think. But anyway, he's fun to watch. He's interesting. But like their team this year's not that good. He's kind of found a way to just like keep winning. I assume North Texas clips them. But if JMU wins by a lot, North Texas wins by 3, Andrew Messamaker breaks his leg, then it could be interesting. But obviously no one's going to root for that. I hope Messamaker's healthy. I hope everybody's healthy. I hope they play well. But it is a possibility, and I think it's more realistic if it's North Texas than Tulane, that the injury could come up or something.
So now let's take a look at the ACC, because what will need to happen for JMU to get in along with the AAC champ is, I would assume, Duke to win.
I think the path is JMU beats Troy and Duke beats UVA, and then I think it happens.
Every Monday, go to the house with former JMU quarterback Vad Lee and Hall of Famer Delvin Joyce. It's the weekly JMU football podcast with insider insight you won't find anywhere else from two guys who've worn the jersey. Listen now. Subscribe to the JMU Sports News Podcast Network to never miss an episode of To the House every Monday. Love JMU Sports News? Help us keep bringing you the best coverage we possibly can. Support the show and fuel our work at buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. Every cup keeps us rolling all season long. Buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. For more than 20 years, SignPro has been proudly serving the Valley, helping local businesses stand out and get noticed. Whether it's vehicle wraps that turn heads on the road, dimensional signs that elevate your storefront, or long-lasting banners with yard signs, we bring quality and experience to every project. With a reputation built on craftsmanship and trust, we're here to make your message impossible to miss. Visit mysignpros.net and let's showcase your business with confidence. That's mysignpros.net. Big win, huge play. Don't just remember it, wear the moment. Breaking Team makes shirts that capture the game's biggest highlights right as they happen. Gear up today using the link in the description. College football's back, and it's time to upgrade your game day gear. Right now, claim 15% off at Home Field. The best retro and vintage apparel in the game. Rep JMU in style. Don't wait. Check the link in description to get your 15% off. You think it's that simple?
I don't think they're putting Duke in, even though Manny Diaz is like going on 3 podcasts saying they belong, which also focus on the game plan, Manny.
Did you see Jim Phillips too?
What did he do?
It was a very because ESPN has like a stake, not a stake, but like they want to see the ACC at least be a little successful. Maybe not as much as the SEC, but they want to see the ACC at least get a team in. And so like ESPN News Services, which I imagine is just like AI or like a staff, I don't know, but like wrote a very clearly slanted ACC positive story. Jim Phillips did go on like a radio show he spoke with the Associated Press and they used some of the quotes from that. But it was very much like slanted in like, the ACC deserves multiple bids. JMU is the team that could beat them out, but they lost to an ACC team. Like it was very clearly like the prompt into AI was write a positive ACC article and besmirch everyone else. But in it were some good quotes from Phillips. Because one of them was very funny where he was like, I have the conviction that we deserve to be in. We've got the talent, starting with Miami.
He's right, though, that I actually think they're going to put Miami in.
But it's funny to me that the commissioner of the league isn't like, our conference champion deserves to be in. If it's Duke,
he's a smart guy, yeah.
Our at-large needs to get in. Like, our at-large gives us the best opportunity.
They have Notre Dame at 10, BYU at 11, Miami at 12, and they've said that head-to-head between Notre Dame and Miami will be more relevant if they're, like, right next to each other. If BYU loses to Texas Tech again, I think the committee would move them back. They'd move Miami and Notre Dame next to each other. And then if Duke beats UVA, they would say, oh, Miami head-to-head, ACC gets a bid. So I do think, like...
I think Miami's going to get in.
I think Texas Tech beating BYU is important for this, like, JMU clause. Because I think it gives them an out to stick Miami in there.
I think Miami will get in. In this article that was very clearly written by, like, with a huge ACC slant, also stated that Miami is 4-0 against AP top 25 teams at the time of playing.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Good for them.
Which is a stat that G5 teams love citing, and you never hear P4 teams cite.
Yeah. Like USF, they beat ranked Florida at the time.
Yes.
Right when Billy Napier was good, they beat them.
And, like, I love how it also comes in to help Miami because they lost to Louisville, who was not ranked at the time.
At the time, yeah.
But then, like, to get ranked. But there were some other interesting facts. Like Miami, they have 4 common opponents, Miami and Notre Dame. Miami has the better point differential than them. They've got almost the exact same strength of schedule. And so a lot of the metrics that were handpicked for this article very clearly for a reason did favor Miami. So they've got like a very strong argument to be in over Notre Dame.
I think they'll end up getting it again if Texas Tech can take care of business. And then if Duke wins, I think that gives them the easy out, the committee, where they can put Miami in, the ACC's in, the best team in the ACC, clearly. And then JMU gets in. They're probably going to have to try to change the rules or whatever, but two-bid G5 would be pretty darn cool. JMU getting in would also be sick with Chesney, like, forced to stick around a little longer. You got to coach one more game.
I don't want him coaching the college football playoff. That's what I've decided.
You have to have him.
No. All I care about is winning the Sun Belt Championship.
Who would coach it?
Me.
You need whoever...
That would be a great NIL fundraiser.
That would be a terrible idea.
Go to a bowl game. Here's what I'm hoping. We win the Sun Belt. Don't make it to the college football playoff. Go to a bowl game.
That's what you're rooting for, you sicko.
Chesney does not coach the bowl game.
He's not going to coach the bowl.
They create an NIL fundraiser. Whoever donates the most money gets to coach the bowl game.
Mickey Matthews. He better be there.
How cool would that be? What, like, watch all like the former alumni football players like pool together the money so they can put together like. Do you see Percy Ajay-Obase tweeted, "I'm ready, call me." I know he's joking, but like imagine him teaming up with a bunch of them and doing it.
That'd be pretty sick, dude.
But all right. Anything else we got to talk about? Men's
What do you
basketball
get?
with a win over NC Central.
JMU beats Troy. Duke beats UVA. And they could be in the playoff playing Oregon. That would be amazing. Whoever gets in from the G5, whether it's one or two teams, they got to put up a fight this year.
Yes.
Or it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough look. They got to put up a legitimate fight to prove they belong. That's why
And they've got to do it with a coach with a foot out the door.
Yeah, you'd have two chances. Like if North Texas and JMU both won and their coaches are like, oh, shoot, are we supposed to stay another game?
And Tulane, John Summerall.
They're not getting in. They suck. Summerall would be the funniest.
You think North Texas is going to beat Tulane?
I think they're favored.
Really?
Yeah, Tulane's trash. Just trash. North Texas also, because their offense is so good, like the points they put up and the margins have become an absolute darling of like the metrics. So like when their neutral site stuff is like pretty good.
I just got to shout out Tim Embry because he called this like 3 months ago. It was so funny. He was just like, guys, I think North Texas is going to be an upset alert. Like, I think they may take us down if it's between us and them.
Yeah, but
he's
they
right.
just keep winning, man. They just keep winning. Good for them.
All right. Anything else?
Men's basketball avoided disaster. That's right.
Yeah, that would have been a horrific loss to NC Central. What, 350 in Ken Palm?
They were
Is that
350
right?
in Ken Palm. They've since improved to 344 with their close loss to JMU.
JMU 177. JMU next up. They are at home on Saturday, the day after the game, against Norfolk State, a perennial MEAC contender, MEAC winner. So that should be a fun little game against the Spartans.
Yep, women's basketball cruising 7-3, beat up on ECU on the road. I think they're home Sunday against somebody somewhat interesting. I can't remember who it was.
You want me to look it up for you?
Yeah, I guess so. I can't remember who it was. Is it VCU or is that later?
Who they're playing next? They're playing VCU next. On
Okay,
Sunday.
yeah, it's VCU. Okay.
Dummy.
And then they got
Notre Dame at home on the 14th.
yeah. Is there a game in between those, or is it just VCU Notre Dame?
Yep.
That's so cool to have Notre Dame at home.
I love women's basketball scheduling so much better.
Yeah.
All right. For Bennett Conlin, I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Appreciate SignPro for being a presenting sponsor of all of our coverage this football season. Check out our home on the web, JMUSportsNews.com. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube. It's hard to keep up with all of that, but yeah, should be fun. Should be a fun Friday. Come on out, 3-notched in Harrisonburg. Don't go to the one in Charlottesville. Don't go to the one in Richmond. Don't go to the one in Virginia Beach, and don't go to the one in Nelson County. Instead, come to the one in Harrisonburg, Virginia, the Valley Collab House. We'll be out there from 3 until 4:30 doing a quote-unquote live podcast, more of just kind of a drinking beer and hanging out as we mentally prepare for a cold night. It will be cold. It will be dark. I think it's not supposed to snow anymore, though.
Yeah. So it should be like just clear and cold.
My type of night. And then JMU will lose Chesney right when the final whistle sounds.
Yeah,
and
immediately
then,
after, I think he's going to rip off like his JMU stuff.
just
It's
be
UCLA. That's what Summerall's been doing.
You know what the splash hire actually would be? Tino Sunseri.
You know who I was thinking would be actually kind of a fascinating hire?
Nick Saban?
No, who's the guy who taught Bob Chesney everything?
I don't know.
Bob Chesney Sr. He knows the team. He's been on the sidelines. He knows the program. He knows how the program is built.
What about his son? What about Bob Chesney's son?
App State might be interested.
What a swipe at the end. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya.